They're freaks. And you want to go back to them? Isn't that why you ran away with me in the first place? I'm gonna assume this is Rie's father. I, I, she's my mother. She's dying. I could clearly hear my parents fighting a few rooms away from us. Come on, Annie. You know what it was like growing up in that household. You know how much you hated it. And you want to put that on our son? Hey! Snap! A nervous but determined little voice called out to me, followed by the snap of her fingers. Oh, she's adorable! This is such a contrast from her and her devil outfit. So cute. Which book will you read to me today? You're so good at storytelling. No, Lilia, I don't really feel like reading today, and I've already read them all 1,000 times. I don't really feel like reading today, and I've already read them all 1,000 times. But, what about Prince Philip? Or Princess Aurora? I want to know what happened. What's the point? Philip saves Aurora from the evil witch. Blah blah blah. They have a happy ending. They're all the same story. I huffed and looked away from Lilia. The sadness and patheticness in her eyes made me mad. She never had to go through any of this. The shouting continued. I felt numb to it by now. But Rie! What, Lilia? I already said no. I threw one of the picture books on the ground. It opened to the page of the evil witch, Samantha, imprisoning Princess Diana Sands. It was our favorite book. She loved to look at the pictures while I read to her. She said I made the characters come alive. But Lilia didn't back down, even though she was slightly shaking, nervous. She looked at me with determination in her eyes. I couldn't return her gaze. What is it? You and me. Huh? You and me. We're going to write a book together. Something new. Something way, way, way better. And it can be whatever you want. But, Lilia, you can hardly read, let alone write. Then I'll draw the pictures. Lilia had already started grabbing some crayon and paper. Here, she said, thrusting a pencil at my face. I don't have all day, you know. My drawings are really, really good. Lilia had already begun drawing with a rare and fiery intensity. I allowed myself to be swept up into the escape she created. Since then, Lilia and I never stopped writing, never stopped drawing. It became our little bond. When we were down, we would draw, we would write. Before we knew it, Lilia and I had formed a kind of intense bond, but one that was different, strange and matured from when we were children. It felt more fragile. Lilia, I really... Oh, that's it. Wow. Lilia was an adorable child. That was so cute. Aw, man, even her idea was absolutely adorable. Rie, are you okay? I'm fine. I just got lost in my thoughts. You know, Lilia is the one who encouraged me to write. She saved me, in a way. I see. But... I know. I haven't known you nearly as long as you've known Lilia. So maybe I don't have the right to say anything, but I think you don't give yourself enough credit, Rie. Lilia might have saved you once, but right now, and all these years, Rie, you have saved yourself and many others with your writing, your creativity. You really inspire me. I mean, I wouldn't agree to be your editor if I didn't think you had talent. And now, you write for yourself, don't you? Oh, I guess. Just don't let it get to your head, okay? I know. Thanks, Irma. She smiles back at me. Okay, let's look for books by Sybil for now. We weave our way around several bookshelves, tracing each letter one by one. P, Q, R? S. It's what? I follow Irma's gaze, and to our amazement, a series of books with the author Sybil line the bookshelf before us. That was easier than I thought. Well? What do you mean, well? Let's start looking. Like a child, Irma pulled all the books from the shelf, making a cluttered mess on the floor. I suppose that's one way to do it, but by the looks of things, it'll take a while to go through all these. Time quickly passes as the two of us skim through the books before us. As each page goes by, the more fruitless our endeavors become. The idea of mystical spellbooks and secret codes being stored in a public library was a stupid one to begin with. These are just children's stories. Who would have thought a witch would be such a great writer? I'm sure if the kids who read these actually met the author, they'd be more frightened by appearances than the tales of damsels in distress saved by knights in shining armor. Just what is this woman's problem? Is she writing out her own fantasies or something? In an act of frustration, I take a hold of our beloved spellbook and toss it towards a nearby bookshelf. What'd you do that for? What if you ruin it and we can't save Lilia? Ugh, it's just... Wait a second. I look towards the floor at the spellbook I just tossed. Its back cover is strewn open on the floor, revealing a short biography of the author in plain English. What we've been looking for was in our hands all along. What? What's that look for? Read this. I quickly pick up the book from the ground, presenting it to Irma as she looks back towards me with confusion. I don't get it. Read the last part. This renowned witch, also known for her mystical fairy tales and enchanting stories for young human minds, blah blah blah. She lives in the forest? Right? Well, we found out she writes children's stories. Perhaps she's not such a bad person after all. We'll only know for sure once we pay her a visit. We need to save Lilia, and fast. Right, I guess we can come back later and clean up all these books. Yeah. Tracing back the way we came, it doesn't take us long to exit the library, our passion now reignited as the hope inside us cascades through our hearts. It's that passion with which we chase our dreams. The three of us.